We are in the very early days of the AI platform shift.
Soon you'll be able to ask questions with video.
Do you remember where you saw my glasses?
Your glasses were on the desk near a red apple.
90 unlabeled images per day.
So Gemini can see what you see.
This appears to be the King's Cross area of London.
Google does the work for you.
TalkBack makes them accessible. And now we're taking that to the next level.
Gemini is becoming your new AI assistant on Android.
Respond to your surroundings in real time.
We see so much opportunity ahead.
Last week, May 14th, was Google's developer conference, Google I/O 2024. While some people found it a little underwhelming, I thought there were some pretty cool things that were announced, especially when it comes to accessibility, and there were just some things that I wanted to comment about. Welcome to Carrie on Accessibility, where we talk about technology and accessibility. If you're interested in that type of content, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. If you'd like to support the channel and the work I do, consider becoming a Patreon or YouTube channel member. The original keynote for Google I/O was almost 2 hours long, and we're not going to talk about everything, but one of the biggest announcements that directly impacts accessibility would have to be how they're integrating Gemini into TalkBack.
2.2 billion people experience blindness or low vision. So several years ago, we developed TalkBack, an accessibility feature that helps people navigate their phone through touch and spoken feedback. Helping with images is especially important. In fact, my colleague Carrie, who uses TalkBack, will typically come across 90 unlabeled images per day.
Screen reader users out there, I'm very curious, how many unlabeled images do you encounter every day, and what do you use to describe your images? And when do you use something, and when do you just ignore the image?
Thankfully, TalkBack makes them accessible.
I haven't really talked about this in other videos, but there is a setting where you can automatically have image descriptions, but it's a very, very basic one. You can also manually have it describe images too.
And now we're taking that to the next level with the multimodal capabilities of Gemini Nano.
I think this would be great to be built in. That way you don't need to share it out to other services like Be My AI or Access AI or other AI services. So yes, I like this.
So when someone sends Carrie a photo, she'll get a richer and clearer description of what's happening.
We're going to pause right there and have TalkBack read what's on the screen.
The image shows a wide shot of Sydney, Australia. The Sydney Opera House and Sydney Harbour Bridge are visible in the center of the image. The sky is clear and blue.
So that is the image description from Gemini.
Or let's say Carrie is shopping online for an outfit. Now she can get a crystal clear description of the style and cut to find the perfect look.
Now here's TalkBack reading that description.
Detected. Text, a close-up of a black and white gingham dress. The dress is short, with a collar and long sleeves. It is tied at the waist with a big bow. Description of images may vary. TalkBack is available on select devices languages.
That's pretty cool. Now let's talk about Google Photos. They did some updates, which is pretty cool. Right now, when I go through Google Photos, TalkBack will give its little image description, which will totally be better with Gemini descriptions. But I also think this will be pretty cool.
Before, you could search photos for keywords, and then scroll through years' worth of photos, looking for the right one. Now, you can simply ask photos. It knows the cars that appear often, it triangulates which one is yours, and just tells you the license plate number.
During the presentation, they showed this feature writing out your license plate number while also giving you that license plate number photo, which I think could be so helpful. Obviously, we're not going to be driving cars if you're blind or visually impaired, or at least if you're legally blind, but this could be really helpful for other things. Just use your imagination. Hey, Gemini, where was I in that one day? And what was that room number? And what was on that sign next to me? Things that are really hard for us to find. The image descriptions will totally help, but finding that for us, since it's very hard to browse and scroll through images anyway, just being able to pull those out was pretty cool, and it can write down what it sees in a text format.
For example, you might be reminiscing about your daughter Lucia's early milestones. You can ask photos, when did Lucia learn to swim? You can even follow up with something more complex. Show me how Lucia's swimming has progressed. Here, Gemini goes beyond a simple search, recognizing different contexts, from doing laps in the pool, to snorkeling in the ocean, to the text and dates on her swimming certificates, and photos packages it up all together in a summary. You can really take it all in and relive amazing memories all over again.
I feel like there's this misconception that blind people don't like taking pictures, and yeah, maybe there's a lot of blind people that don't, but even if I can't see them super well, I still like taking pictures. I want to ask it things like, show me all my son's birthdays over the years, and we can collect all those images or videos and it compile that for us. First of all, that saves so much scrolling and trying to figure out what things are. And then you can share it to people like friends and family that will really enjoy all the images and videos too. I mean, my dad, who's totally blind, enjoys sending pictures to his friends. Now let's talk about Gmail and Workspace updates.
As a parent, you want to know everything that's going on with your child's school.
They're showing a really long list of emails.
Okay, maybe not everything, but you want to stay informed. Gemini can help you keep up. Now we can ask Gemini to summarize all recent emails from the school. In the background, it's identifying relevant emails, even analyzing attachments like PDFs. And you get a summary of the key points and action items. So helpful.
I agree. I think this is super helpful, especially when you receive a lot of emails.
It looks like there's an email thread on this with lots of emails that I haven't read. I can simply tap the summarize option up top and skip reading this long back and forth.
This would be really helpful in a lot of email groups, and I wish we could get something like this on Discord.
Gemini pulls up this helpful mobile card as an overlay, and this is where I can read a nice summary of all the salient information that I need to know. Now, I can simply type out my question right here in the mobile card.
Summaries are all well and good and really helpful, but I really like being able to ask a question.
If you're a freelancer or a small business, you really want to focus on your craft and not on bookkeeping and logistics.
That's really true.
So let's go to her inbox and take a look. Lots of unread emails. Let's click on the first one. It's got a PDF. That's an attachment from a hotel as a receipt.
Hopefully the PDF is accessible.
And I see a suggestion in the side panel. Help me organize and track my receipts. The side panel now will show me more details about what that really means. There's 2 steps here. Step 1, create a drive folder and put this receipt and 37 others it's found into that folder. Step 2, extract the relevant information from those receipts in that folder into a new spreadsheet. I also have the option to edit these actions. Gemini offers you the option to automate this, so that this particular workflow is run on all future emails.
I think this could be super helpful even if you don't run your own small business or if you're not a freelancer. Just keeping on track of your personal finances can be really challenging, especially when you're using a screen reader. I also really like the fact that it will organize your drive. Can I just have that to organize my drive automatically?
We're prototyping a virtual Gemini-powered teammate. This teammate has an identity, a Workspace account, along with a specific role and objective.
Do they get a salary?
As the team adds Chip to more group chats, more files, more email threads, Chip builds a collective memory of our work together.
Basically, it's like you can talk to AI with the other members of your team. This seems pretty cool, and it also helps you find files that other team members have shared and other information like that.
Maybe you were traveling this week and you couldn't make the PTA meeting. The recording of the meeting is an hour long. If it's from Google Meet, you can ask Gemini to give you the highlights.
You can get summaries, and you can also ask a question, which is pretty cool. I just thought Meet already had this. But now let's move on to Search and Gemini and some of the actions Gemini can help with.
It's pretty fun to shop for shoes.
So fun.
And a lot less fun to return them when they don't fit.
All right, you got me there.
Imagine if Gemini could do all the steps for you. Searching your inbox for the receipt, locating the order number from your email, filling out a return form, and even scheduling a pickup.
I would suspect that this only works for certain merchants and not everything, but if it did work with everything, that would be really cool because then you wouldn't have to fight all the accessibility issues or barriers you face on websites.
You will want to explore the city and find services nearby, from dry cleaners to dog walkers. You'll have to update your new address across dozens of websites. Gemini can work across these tasks and will prompt you for more information when needed, so you're always in control.
Again, this could potentially make things more accessible.
Now you can even circle to search.
So they talked about circle to search, which is a feature where you can circle things on the screen and you can do Google searches based on that. And you have to tap and hold in the bottom middle where you would swipe to go home. I just haven't found a way to do this successfully with TalkBack. I want to know if anybody else has been able to do this and how. And hey Google, can you help?
With AI overviews, Google does the work for you. Instead of piecing together all the information yourself, you can ask your question. And as you see here, you can get an answer instantly, complete with a range of perspectives and links to dive deeper. AI overviews will begin rolling out to everyone in the US, starting today. You can ask your entire question with all its sub-questions. Soon you'll be able to ask Search to find the best yoga or Pilates studios in Boston and show you details on their intro offers and the walking time from Beacon Hill. Research that might have taken you minutes or even hours, Google can now do on your behalf in just seconds.
I've been using AI overviews for a while now. I find that it's usually reliable and you can ask questions sometimes, which I get confused about when you can ask a question and when you can't. I like that it has links, except that a lot of the times it cuts off the little cards with the links. And just having the links there are helpful to kind of give you more confidence in the AI, which, you know, AIs can hallucinate.
Soon you'll be able to ask questions with video right in Google Search.
And this summer, you can have an in-depth conversation with Gemini using your voice. We're calling this new experience Live. Using Google's latest speech models, Gemini can better understand you and answer naturally. You can even interrupt while Gemini is responding, and it will adapt to your speech patterns. When you go live, you'll be able to open your camera so Gemini can see what you see and respond to your surroundings in real time.
I think this feature is what is most exciting for me. Right now, we have AI, we have Be My AI, we have Access AI, we have all of these different AIs. We have to take a picture though. It's not real time, it's not a video, and I think that is the logical step forward, and this is going to be amazing. They showed some demos, which I'll show in a minute. I also just really love how it says it sees what you see. Hopefully it can see much better than I see. I also love the idea of being able to interrupt Gemini or these AI models that are reading to you, because sometimes you want to ask a clarifying question before it continues, or sometimes it just is talking about something different and you want to correct it, or whatever it is. I think that when you're talking to a human, you know, you're like, hold on, wait a second, and they stop and you can steer the conversation where you want to go, and I really like that. So this next part is Project Astra.
Project Astra. Building on our Gemini model, we've developed agents that can process information faster by continuously encoding video frames, combining the video and speech input into a timeline of events, and caching this for efficient recall. We've also enhanced how they sound with a wider range of intonations. These agents better understand the context you're in and can respond quickly in conversation, making the pace and quality of interaction feel much more natural.
I think all of that sounds really great. Now here is the demo.
Okay, let's do some tests. Tell me when you see something that makes sound.
They're holding up a phone and panning around an office.
I see a speaker, which makes sound.
What is that part of the speaker called?
They drew an arrow pointing to a part of the speaker.
That is the tweeter. It produces high-frequency sounds.
Give me a creative alliteration about these.
It's a little crayon holder.
Creative crayons color cheerfully. They certainly craft colorful creations.
She then pans over to this person at a computer and points it at the monitor.
What does that part of the code do?
This code defines encryption and decryption functions. It seems to use AES-CBC encryption to encode and decode data based on a key and an initialization vector, IV.
She walks over to the right and points the camera out the window.
That's right. What neighborhood do you think I'm in?
Somebody tell me if the AI is right, please.
This appears to be the King's Cross area of London. It is known for its railway station and transportation connections.
Do you remember where you saw my glasses?
She walked by them and panned the camera over them earlier.
Yes, I do. Your glasses were on the desk near a red apple.
What can I add here to make this system faster?
She drew an arrow on the whiteboard pointing at something.
Adding a cache between the server and database could improve speed.
What does this remind you of?
Drawing with two cats, one with X for eyes, and then she places a box with a question mark.
Schrodinger's cat.
All right, give me a band name for this duo.
It looks like a dog with a stuffed animal with stripes.
Golden stripes.
Nice. Thanks, Gemini.
Gemini is becoming your new AI assistant on Android.
You can actually do this right now, at least on my phone. I just installed the Gemini app from the Play Store, and then it gives you a little prompt if you want to replace Google Assistant with Gemini.
Gemini works at the system level. So instead of going to a separate app, I can bring Gemini right to what I'm doing. Now, we're making Gemini context aware. The Gemini window now hovers in place above the app so that I stay in the flow. And because it's context aware, Gemini knows I'm looking at a video. So it proactively shows me an Ask This Video chip.
It looks like a button to me.
So let me tap on that. And now I can ask specific questions about the video.
This is pretty neat. I wish I could do like the whole window and not just like a screenshot or something, and then be able to give you information based on any accessibility issues or anything like that you have. That would be really, really helpful. A little bit like TalkBack screen search, except for the whole app that's open. That would be pretty neat. And then obviously powered with AI.
That's an 84-page PDF. I don't know how much time Pete thinks I have. So instead of trolling through this entire document, I can pull up Gemini to help. And again, Gemini anticipates what I need and offers me an Ask This PDF option.
This could be super helpful since usually PDFs are inaccessible or hard to navigate or hard to deal with. So I love this. Also, it'd be pretty cool if it's a textbook or something like that. Now, this next part I think could be helpful to so many people.
Android can help protect you from the bad guys, no matter how they try to reach you. So let's say I get rudely interrupted by an unknown caller right in the middle of my presentation. Hello?
Hi, I'm calling from Safemore Bank Security Department. Am I speaking to Dave?
Yeah, this is Dave. Kind of in the middle of something.
We've detected some suspicious activity on your account. It appears someone is trying to make unauthorized charges.
Oh yeah, what kind of charges?
I can't give you specifics over the phone. But to protect your account, I'm going to help you transfer your money to a secure account we've set up for you.
And look at this. My phone gives me a warning that this call might be a scam.
Next, we have Notebook LM.
So here we are in Notebook LM. You can load it up with all the materials here on the left. In this notebook, I've been using it with my younger son, and I've added some of his science worksheets, a few slide decks from his teacher, and even an open source textbook full of charts and diagrams. With 1.5 Pro, it instantly creates this notebook guide with a helpful summary and can generate a study guide, an FAQ, or even quizzes.
I love the idea behind this because studying can be really hard, especially depending on what kind of learner you are.
But for my son, Jimmy, he really learns best when he can listen to something. So we've prototyped a new feature with Gemini, and it's called Audio Overviews. Notebook LM is going to take all the materials on the left as input and output them into a lively science discussion personalized for him. Let's take a listen.
So let's dive into physics. What's on deck for today?
Well, we're starting with the basics, force and motion.
Okay.
And that, of course, means we have to talk about Sir Isaac Newton and his 3 laws of motion.
Ah, yes, the foundation for understanding how objects move and interact.
And what's amazing is that my son and I can join into the conversation and steer it whichever direction we want. When I tap, join.
Hold on, we have a question. What's up, Josh?
Yeah, can you give my son Jimmy a basketball example?
Hey, Jimmy! That's a fantastic idea. Basketball is actually a great way to visualize force and motion. Let's break it down.
Okay, so first, imagine a basketball just sitting there on the court.
I think it's such a cool feature, and I think this could help and be accessible for people with multiple disabilities or reading disabilities, or just people and students in general. I think could totally benefit from this. Then we have generative or AI images.
Imagine 3. It's our most capable image generation model yet. Imagine 3 is more photorealistic, plus this is our best model yet for rendering text, which has been a challenge for image generation models.
I tried ImageFX. It is very bad at people with disabilities. It gets everything really wrong. It's also AI image generator tools are terrible with writing. I haven't tried the Image 3 yet because that's not out. Hopefully they can figure out how to make that better, and hopefully they can reverse engineer that to make OCR even better. Generative or AI video.
I'm excited to announce our newest, most capable generative video model called VO. VO creates high-quality 1080p videos from text, image, and video prompts. It can capture the details of your instructions in different visual and cinematic styles. You can prompt for things like aerial shots of a landscape or a time-lapse, and further edit your videos using additional prompts.
With video, I mean, it goes hand in hand with images. Hopefully they can make that better. Then we have generative or AI music.
Together with YouTube, we've been building Music AI Sandbox, a suite of professional music AI tools that can create new instrumental sections from scratch, transfer styles between tracks, and more.
I tried the Music FX. That's a little finicky and a little hard to navigate with the screen reader, but you can kind of do it. And go try it out yourself if you want to. I'll put the link down in the description. There were a lot of model updates, and here is just a little bit about them.
We're introducing Gemini 1.5 Flash. Flash is optimized for tasks where low latency and efficiency matter most.
So we're rolling out a new feature that lets you customize it for your own needs and create personal experts on any topic you want. We're calling these gems.
These are like OpenAI's GPTs.
Just tap to create a gem, write your instructions once, and come back whenever you need it.
I think Google announced some pretty cool things. I'm most excited about the Gemini TalkBack image descriptions, but even more Project Astra and being able to ask about your environment through video. That is just going to be so cool once it's actually out for release and being used in apps that are helpful for people who are blind and visually impaired. I'm really excited about that. What do you guys think? Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up below. Don't forget to subscribe and consider becoming a Patreon or YouTube channel member. I share exclusive content and posts, and we have monthly meetups and more. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bloopers. If you're watching this, hi Dad. I've been using AI interviews for a while now. It's in labs.google/music/FX. Can it just automatically organize my drive? I don't want to really talk about how disorganized my drive is.